Yeah. Wherever they may be, are all sitting around right now ready to count their money. I mean, think about it. How can someone be so sinister that they could do this without blinking an eye and with being able to sleep? Let me tell you how. They're not people. They are not real people. They cannot be real humans. Real humans that have a heart will not see the need to keep continuing this type of activity. I mean, that's just all to it. There's something wrong with this. And I don't say this to be mean and try to pick on the white people, but I'm just saying you guys got to understand and you got to see the logic that this is still going on because it's white men. That's who's behind all this, all the time. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because of their inability to deal with their absence of melanin. They have to go get these machines of destruction and destroy everything that God and nature made beautiful. That's the real whole reality behind it. And I say God and nature because they're not separate, but the energy source have to have a recognition of having an objective. And once you see that objective, like these guys are soldiers out here with this objective, but when they go home, are they soldiers at home then? Probably in the head, but do they have this uniform and carrying that gun around while they in the front room? Of course not. But when they come to our neighborhoods, they will. So they're seeing all the soldiers that's American soldiers abroad somewhere, make them harass Iranians and Iraqis and all the war takeover places that they plan on taking over. And then they'll make all of us here in America have the pleasantry of being involved with soldiers from Europe that come and use this equipment and be able to come into the neighborhoods and just do whatever the hell they want with embedded hatred. See? You see how that thing is loosely? They're rubber. Some of them could be steel, but a lot of them are made of rubber. And the ones that I know coming into the city are made of rubber. Real thick, like incredibly durable rubber. Not even rubber, like a type of plastic. You know what I mean? And they can just bring those things into the city and drive right through your house with them. If you got a flat house with no basement, and even if you did have a basement, they could probably drive into the damn thing and drive out of the freaking basement if it falls in there. They gonna get their ass tore up though. Now the other day I saw a really big helicopter fly right over Vancouver, Washington about 2-3 days ago. It was headed north. In the afternoon time around 4 o'clock. And what is this all about? It got so bad now they got to do these scrimmages here in America. Damn, what was that? See, why are they doing that? Do you see? They combating for city takeovers. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're doing. They're trained, and then they do this to put it in your mind too, of what to come. But that's what that's all about. To employ, you know what I mean? Like hot zones. You know, let's say for instance, they looking for one person, and that one person is locked up in a city. And they want him to lie because that person or that person has information. It could be one of their own that went bad. Well, that's where they'll be at. Doing that at night. Specialists, you know, Navy SEAL, white men with guns. They love this shit. I mean, this is why everybody on the planet has to go through all this bullshit. It's because of these guys right here that don't have nothing better to do, because they don't have anything inside of them to make them godly. That's why they drew a God. That's why they take our hat and put a bib on it to keep the sun out of their eyes, because they can't deal with the sun like we can. Our sun go in our eyes and make us be divine. The sun goes in their eyes and causes them to have headaches and shit. You see, so now they create all these type of circumstances on the earth to create chaos and destruction. And that's what we're all dealing with. It's there. We have to all deal with the truth about our reality. Our reality is the mentality of these white men having our earth saturated with their filth. This is all they know. Now they're probably making a movie right here. That's what it looks like. I don't know. But my point is this. This is ridiculous. They show you just who they are. I told you, looking for people. I knew that. I knew that. I knew that's what that was about. I knew that's what that was about. Because there's going to be a lot of people that's rolling over telling on them, exposing them for what they get ready to do. And they know these people will be hid up with a lot of protection around them. And not only in our country, in other countries where they want to go and kidnap top rank officials and hold them for hostage and all kind. Man, it just goes on and on and on. Our biggest problem in this country is that we have been dichotomized because of complexion and taught to distrust each other. And that's the reason why now that is the most costly thing to all, because people who can make a difference doesn't have financing, because the ones who doesn't want to make a difference and do make a negative difference are the ones that's getting the finances from the masses through propagandas of foolish religion. Okay, that perpetuates nothing but dumbass garbage. Alright, this right here. Everywhere you look. Talking about anti-terror. Yeah, I'm sure. These European nations all around the country, from America to Israel, to all the NATO nations of Europe and all over the planet, are all responsible for genocide and crimes against humanity. All of the nations are. Every European nation on this planet. There's no way any one of them could look at another one and say anything negative about it.
And seemingly without the notice of most Americans, the federal government has assumed the authority to institute martial law, arrest a wide swath of dissidents, citizen and non-citizen alike, and detain people without legal or constitutional recourse in the event of an emergency influx of immigrants in the U.S., or to support the rapid development of new programs. Beginning in 1999, the government has entered into a series of single bid contracts with Halliburton subsidiary Kellogg, Brown and Root, KBR, to build detention camps at undisclosed locations within the United States. The government has also contracted with several companies to build thousands of rail cars, some reportedly equipped with shackles, ostensibly to transport detainees. According to diplomat and author Peter Dale Scott, the KBR contract is part of the Homeland Security.
Look at this, with shackles and guillotine. Now look, when I tell you that somebody is eating people, you better listen to what I'm saying to you, because you know those black boxes that they had piled up everywhere? These look like refrigerated trains. They look stainless steel. They made these things really elaborate looking because of the fact that I really believe that the cargo that's going to be in these things is not going to be living people. By the time you make it to these things, you're probably going to already be filleted and ready for consumption. You know, that's what I believe. I don't think that people are being killed just to eradicate people off the planet. I really believe the biggest objective is to use people as a food source. And this is what I've been wondering about forever. Is they going to have refrigerated trains to pack that food in? And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. They didn't have to go make all these elaborate trains just to move bodies around. And why would you care about making something elaborate for somebody you get ready to kill? These trains are designed for something that's going to be a really valuable commodity. You understand? So like you better see it for what it is. Somebody is on the earth eating people. And this is going to be their method of transporting the dead bodies in those black body boxes that we already saw. I told you that. And you're looking at it right now. You're looking at it right now. Bet you these are refrigerated boxcars. Guarantee.
Plan titled Endgame, which sets as its goal the removal of all removable aliens and potential terrorists. Fraudbusters such as Representative Henry Waxman, D. Los Angeles, have complained about these contracts, saying that more taxpayer dollars should not go to taxpayer gouging Halliburton. But the real question is, what kind of new programs require the construction and refurbishment of detention facilities in nearly every state of the Union with the capacity to house perhaps millions of people? Sect 1042 of the 2007 National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, use of the armed forces in major public emergencies, gives the executive the power to invoke martial law. For the first time in more than a century, the president is now authorized to use the military in response to a natural disaster, a disease outbreak, a terrorist attack, or any...
What that means in a nutshell is that these motherfuckers plan on killing everybody, starting with us niggas and Mexicans, alright? So wake your ass up. I know I'm not a nigga, but I say niggas because that's how they think in their mind, alright? And you Mexicans can sit around here and think that your ass is going to be loved and preferred and favored by this dirty motherfucker forever if you want to, but guess what? No, you're not. Alright? They show you how dead they want you when they give you the same circumstances of, you want a job here, take this gun, take this pack of rocks and go on the corner and kill each other. Give some to Maria, get her hooked on the shit. This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with evil.
Other condition in which the president determines that domestic violence has occurred to the extent that state officials cannot maintain public order. The Military Commissions Act of 2006, ran through Congress just before the 2006 midterm elections, allows for the indefinite imprisonment of anyone who donates money to a charity that turns up on a list of terrorist organizations or who speaks out against the government's policies. The law calls for secret trials for citizens and non-citizens alike.
In other words, all this bullshit they blowing up your ass is nothing but a fear tactic. It's letting you know, don't be like a SAR. Don't be out here running your mouth trying to expose me. You know, you can see the little evil eyes that I have to show you how sinister I am. Unless it's the Pope, then I'll bow down right away. You know, all this shit is bad as hell when he's got all this military behind him and your taxpayer dollars. Your taxpayer dollars is what empowered his ass to be sitting there now with this intimidating look on his face. All this TV bullshit, all this propaganda, okay, to make everybody in the country be abiding citizens or end up in the concentration camp with the American flag behind barbed wires. We imprisoned America. You can see the bullshit propaganda. But the thing about it is that with me being who I am, I could look at it and say, you know what? I think these white motherfuckers is up to try to murder all our black asses. That's why they threw black ass in there, to get everybody docile and relaxed and shit. But the real truth about it is that this is America's attempt to genocide our black asses. So see it for what it is. But the white people don't understand that after us, they next. And then the Europeans will move in from Europe and do this country the way they all paid to do. They've already paid for land over here, just like y'all had did when you came over here and murdered the land and took it from the Moors. The Moors had already been in contact with white people, and all this was going on, civilizations here and all that. Now it's getting ready to happen again. And 700 years from now, if it goes down, when all the Europeans are here walking around here speaking European language, and all this bullshit right here will be them being forgotten to or pushed under the rug. And all the remnants of what used to be will be here, and they'll be saying, oh, that was the civilization people that we murdered that we won't talk about because they weren't really European.